ahead and worry about your 2 forks beside your plate. Go ahead and worry about having your lobster or steak. But there's more things in life to worry about. You see, my people are dying. My people are dying. My people are dying. Spiritually, mentally, physically. Today the young people are so confused. Why don't you turn on the TV or read the news? But why should you care? You have your identity and you have your word. Love your brother, respect your mother, help one another, and live peacefully in harmony. Live peacefully. Go ahead and worry about your 2 forks beside your plate. Go ahead and worry about having your lobster or steak. But there's more things in life to worry about, like Turkish nations, Haiti, South Africa, Indian reservations. The people are dying, and all the people are dying. The people are dying spiritually, mentally, physically. Go ahead and worry about your 2 forks beside your plate.
Short interview portion.
Get my tennis shoes. Gotta get my tennis shoes. Yeah. I joke. Don't take me seriously, whatever you do. You want to ask me why I chose that song? Or how I wrote it?
Sure.
Okay.
Make us feel like we're there, Julia.
My guest tonight on Musician Spotlight is Jen Hewitt. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're a Montana resident, resident of the Salish Kootenai tribe up in St. Ignatius. Is that right?
That's right. Born and raised in St. Ignatius.
Well, I gotta ask you to tell me a little bit about the influence that Montana has had on you as a songwriter. At some point, I've asked that question a lot. Tell me about the song we just heard.
Well, I was 18, just left the reservation, received a BA from the University of Montana here in sociology, but, you know, in the process, I had just left, and I was at a dorm. I think it was Corbin Hall, and there was these people who wanted to take me and some friends out to the Greeno Mansion for dinner, and while we weren't the type to spend that much money on a hamburger per se, and so anyway, we thought we'd jump at the chance, and we went, and the guy meets us at the door, and he says, do you have a reservation? And I said, yeah, I'm from the Flathead Reservation, my friend's from the Blackfeet Reservation, and she's from the Crow Reservation. And he looks at me like, that's not exactly what I had in mind, you know. And so, remember, I really didn't know what was going on. So then, after a while, he brings us in and we sit down, and there is 2 forks beside my plate. And I thought, well, I might look big, but I don't need 2 forks. And so it just was getting really confusing, and I was getting Twitter-pated, and it gets worse. Then the guy comes over and he says, well, what would you like to drink? Well, I've seen a lot of my relatives, a lot of my people just completely destroyed by alcohol, and I haven't really wanted to participate in that. So anyway, I didn't know really what to order. I heard, people were drinking Strawberry Hill Boone's Farm, so I said I'd like some Strawberry Hill Boone's Farm, please. And the guy's mouth hit the ground, and he said, "We don't serve that here." And somebody kind of nudged me and said, "Rot gut." So then the people I was with said, "Well, what should we have, dear? Should we have lobster or should we have steak?" And it was just something that I thought that I should go home and write Two Forks. So I went home and wrote the song called Two Forks.
That's great. Well, you've got quite the career already. You've played all around the country for different events. You tend to play, get an opportunity at least, and get invited to play for all sorts of different kinds of events. Maybe you can talk a little bit about maybe some of your favorite venues that you've had a chance to perform at.
I think a really exciting moment in my life was over in Russia. In 1985, I was there to sing for 12th World Festival for Peace and Friendship and anti-imperialism and solidarity. And I ended up on stage with Martin Luther King's daughter and Angela Davis. And since then, I just kind of like, it was just mesmerizing the way they treated me. I had my own bus, I had my own interpreter, and they treat musicians like football players over there. I mean, they're really of a lot of importance. And so I think probably musicians get treated well here too, but probably not the ethnic folk music that I do. I mean, we could be treated a lot better. And I just was really spoiled over there, and I loved it. It was a good time.
That sounds great. And you've had lots of opportunities to play around our part of the country as well, too.
Yeah, I really love Montana. It's my home. St. Ignatius, my home. I draw my strength from the mountains and from the trees. I'm kind of reclusive, and I just really like it that way. I like living up in the mountains, and I don't know, there's just something that connects me with the earth. I certainly wouldn't want to move.
That's great. Well, it's a wonderful thing to be able to have that connection with the land and the place you live and be able to draw strength from it. And a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah, it beats Catholicism. I mean, I was raised Catholic, I mean, we had the Villa Ursula there, the Bureau of Indian Affairs boarding schools, and I've had a lot of brainwashing to like this one certain religion was the only one religion, and getting back into my Indian roots. I mean, not only the sweats, but the honor of the two-legged and the four-legged, and knowing that Mother Earth is when you respect her and treat her good, then that's the whole key to treating everybody else good. And it just seems to be so simple. And everybody's kind of searching and wandering and looking for the right religion, and it's kind of right under their nose. So it was real hard to break away from the Catholicism, because being half Indian, being Flathead, has the culture has adopted the Catholic ways a lot. But I think we're kind of moving away from that now.
So how do you decide what to write about? Your songs tend to be a lot about social justice and other contemporary issues. And how do you decide?
Well, it's pretty easy to decide. First of all, being in a democracy with a dictatorship. We have the tribal council, who's a dictatorship in a democracy, and I'm under the tribal government, and there's really no women on the tribal council, and it seems like it's a circle. I'll call it an analogy, a circle of strength, or a circle. And if you step outside the circle, then you're blackballed, or you're just not supposed to say anything. The men are supposed to say supposed to do the leadership. And so I find that very oppressive, and I have thought that one should be able to speak their mind and be an individual, and it's real easy for me to sing about the pains of the people, because when I see the people being used for their economical what their jobs. They get their money from saying that the poor Indians are needy and the poor Indians are alcoholic, and you know, a lot of the people are not that way, and they get their economical strength or money from the poor people. And I get really tired of the people being looked upon as being alcoholic and being poor, because boy, we have lots of spirit, and we could be maybe not monetary rich, but I think we might be poverty stricken, but our minds will never be poverty stricken. And I think what bothers me is when the tribal council themselves represent supposedly a bunch of people, and they don't. They represent themselves, and that's how you know they're not being true, is when they start thinking about themselves and not the other people. So I feel this oppression, I sing about it. But however, it does get to me sometimes. So I would like to reach out in other avenues of different styles of music, and do happy songs and beautiful melodies to make me as a person grow more, because I have these tendencies in my voice where I'd like to do opera, and I'd like to do, you know, different styles instead of not ethnic folk, but you know, I'm kind of getting tired of talking about it, and I need people to make the change now.
Right.
And some women say that it's all going to come from women, you know, the feminists.
Sure.
I'm not a feminist. I'm just a person who thinks that people can't ask politely for their rights anymore. Sometimes you have to sing out.
Who do you think your music is most influenced by? I mean, obviously your surroundings have had a big part of that. Is there certain artists or performers that you've listened to or been enthused by or inspired by?
No, I think my music is probably comes from, I don't know how it comes from the spirit, like the spirit of Chief Joseph, Chief Charlo. It comes from the cry of my ancestors. It comes from the feelings that I feel from not only the earth and my environment, the trees where I'm at, but the surrounding, but from the pain of the oppressed people. And I think I have created my own style because I haven't had a phonograph, or I haven't had access to modern music just to develop my own style. And I think that's probably an answer to your question.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to record some of your music, or do you intend to, or would you like to? Or?
Well, because I'm such an outspoken woman, I feel that my chances of getting a normal job on the reservation hasn't been really too, what is the word? Well, I haven't had access to a job like in social work, because I have had stood up for battered women, or stood up for the needy and the poor, and maybe stepped on the wrong toes. So I feel that in order for me to get the money to record, I'm either going to have to find a really good grant writer, or start, Polygram out of New York City, the vice president, Carrie Wood, has been sending me TDK tapes. She sent me a copy machine. She says, I'm doing Bon Jovi promotion, I'm doing Def Leppard promotion, but don't think I forgot about you. Here's some tapes. Make your own tapes right now. We're knocking on doors. Be patient.
Great.
So we'll see.
Well,
And I got a call from Northern Exposure, just, let's see, the producer, what was it, Friday. Yeah. And I have to send some pictures out and stuff. So maybe we can break this oppression of monetary value, but never the spirit.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, you've been able already through your music to be able to reach a lot of people and to talk to a lot of people in your live performances, and it's great that you can do that. Well, I look forward to hearing some more music. Would you play some more for us?
Sure.
Great. My guest tonight on the program is Jen Hewitt. Pause just 1 second. Sorry. Are we okay here?
No, we've got a buzz. Saxon, can you hear
That's,
that?
oh good, that's just probably Bearhead Sweeney getting